Hey, welcome to It's All About Mindset right here on redmediaradio.com as well as our YouTube channel. So make sure that you tune in either way, but it really is all about mindset, and we are always trying to share the things that we've learned along the way. Especially this thing called life, because it's not really fun at all times. It can be stressful. But what I wanted to talk about today, before I drift too far off, is our inner demons. You've heard that term, inner demons, right? What inner demons means to me as a person are those things, those character flaws within ourselves that we tend to let take control of emotions and emotionally charged situations. Usually the ringleader for all of this, you already know who it is, right? Who is it?
You.
Yep, ego. It is always ego. That is the ringleader that actually just spends their whole life inside of you trying to make things go haywire just so they can be comfortable within their little ego shell. And when we talk about emotions and emotionally charged situations, we have to look how we are reacting to these things, because what happens is when we find ourselves in an emotionally charged situation or a situation that is just emotion driven, ego will jump in every time. Set the record straight. Who do you think you're talking to? You know, how dare you come at me that way? That doesn't really solve the problem. You know, our emotions need to be kept in constant check, okay? Especially when dealing with other people. I don't have to tell you the inherent dangers of deciding that someone doesn't have an ego as big as yours. You know, they may not have an ego as big as yours, but they might have a gun or a knife. You know, they might not want to hear what you have to say. They might not let you finish your next sentence, you know? And these are situations that we can easily walk away from.
Right.
You know, I mean, what is your take on, you know, our inner demons?
Our inner demons, it's like a battle, you know, and you have to be determined to win the battle in the right way. You know, it's not meaning if you're wrong about something and you know that inner demon is letting you know you're wrong, you're not saying, no, I'm right. You're saying, okay, I'm going to correct this. Right.
It's always important to, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later, how you keep your ego or your emotions in check, basically your inner demons. Because if you look at your life, as I've actually examined my life, when things went wrong or completely haywire and sideways, it was usually my inner demon exercising its power while I'm just not thinking straight. The mark of being a sentient being on this planet is that we have the ability to always A, make choices based on our knowledge, okay, and B, be able to decide what is the greater good. You know, what is the greater good that can come out of this? You know, animals, on the other hand, your enemy, your food source, I'm going to fight you, I'm going to eat you. You know, if you're the animals being hunted, I'm going to fight back. You know, that's not really ego, that's survival. And through the years, a lot of people have decided that ego was part of our survival. It's part of the reptilian mind. You just act. But what I've come to find out is that it serves no purpose. There's no situation that you can tell me as a human being, as a sentient being, where you allow ego or your inner demon to take over that has actually turned out good. You know, you have to always take that, when you reflect on your life and you see that, hey, I have this problem now because I said or I did this, you know. It's like, I guess the easiest way to explain it is, one time years ago I had a boss, and he decided that, you know, he was going to read me the riot act. You know, I was fresh out the military, so I think he took that to his advantage. Like, you know, he's not going to argue, he's not going to talk back, he's going to look at the rank structure and just accept it. However, it was one of those days where my inner demon just jumped the hell out, you know, and I proceeded to tell him that he doesn't talk to me that way. You know, you've lost your mind. You know, it almost, I could see the tempers flaring where it almost came to fisticuffs. And basically, you know, someone broke it up. I think it was one of my directors came over, broke it up, you know, and said, hey, you go over to your workstation, you go back to the office, you know, we'll talk about this later. It was actually the swan song for that job because anything that I did was just going to be wrong because once again, his inner demon came out and he said, I'm going to flex my power. So I lasted, and before it just became intolerable, another 8 months at that job. Now, could I have avoided that? Yes, I could have let him say his piece. At the end of the day, when I punch out, I go home, don't have to worry about him anymore. You know, and I probably would have been on my way to retiring from that job. You know, the bad blood would have been gone. I would have been able to say, you know what, I'm just going to let you flex your ego. I'm a bigger and better person that I'm not going to let my inner demon out. I'm going to keep it caged down. And I learned that through the years where it's like, you know what, that I've worked in kitchens. The worst places to work where ego just comes out. You know, I've been in the kitchen working and the chef gets mad at somebody and throws a dish up against the wall. That stuff you see on Hell's Kitchen, that's the way it is. You know, now you have a choice every night that you punch in to start your shift and you're in the cooler taking out stuff to prepare and everything is, am I going to keep this job or am I going to let this person get under my skin? You know, because that's what, when people get under your skin, it's like it opens up the coffin to your inner demons. You know, again, keeping those things in check, making sure that you don't allow your inner demons to escape, you know, and it's like Pandora's box. Once they're out, they're out. It's very hard to pull them back in. It really is very hard to say, hey, this is going too far. You know, the inner demon is just sitting up there on your shoulder laughing, like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to prove our point today.
Right. And, you know, the way I look at it is, with the inner demons, your life is, you know, you're in a cycle. So you don't want those inner demons to interrupt or disrupt your cycle. I mean, it starts, it's, you know, conception. Then after conception, you're born. You know, and then you...
I like the conception.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You start to become who you are, okay? And then ideas and feelings come into... And then somewhere along the way, you start with the vision. Some people have their vision younger of who they would like to be. Some, as you get older, some things might have to happen in life. You might have lost touch of the vision, but it always comes back. So, without the demon interrupting, you're kind of conceiving who you want to become. And then you give birth to that idea. You give birth to it. You nurture it. You take care of it. And you just keep going. You want the cycle to continue on an up versus a down. Yes,
definitely. We always want to... We just came off of a live recently where we talked about that. You know, tomorrow never dies. Yes, we're all human. Okay? This is something that we have adapted through the years of, you know, dealing with our egos or dealing with our inner demons. Inner demons are not just about ego as well. Let me make that clear. We have addictions. Those are inner demons. You know, you have people that have, they just can't interact in public with other people. This is an inner demon. You know, there are some people that just can't hold on to a job because, you know, their work ethic isn't there. They have the same needs and wants that we all have as human beings. They want to eat, they want a roof over their head, they want clothes on their back. But for some strange reason, they're dealing with inner demons. And, you know, to go back to the work thing, maybe that inner demon, you know, where they can't keep a job is because maybe they're not looking at themselves and saying, why is this inner demon here? Maybe they want to start their own business. Maybe they have a dream to start their own company, their own foundation, whatever. And their inner demon is basically coming out saying, hey, you don't understand this, but I'm going to tell you, you don't want to be here. You know, and I'm going to make sure that you're not here. And sometimes we do have the opportunity to change our inner demons into inner angels. You know, and I'll get into that a little bit later, but I think we should take a quick break.
Yep.
You know, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with It's All About Mindset right here on redmediaradio.com. And if you're watching us, right here on YouTube. Sounds like a plan?
Yep.
Let's go. Yep, what's good? It's your boy Red, redmediaradio.com. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know that Project Phoenix is alive and well. We've got some interviews coming up, but they're Zoom interviews. What we want to get like close and comfy up in the lab that is World of Red Media LLC. Listen, if you are local to the zip code 08048, that's Lumberton, New Jersey, we would love to have you as a guest up here in the lab so that we can discuss what makes you a unique individual. That goes for recording artists, that goes for business owners, that goes for entrepreneurs. We want to sit down, you know what I'm saying, chop it up a little bit and start the conversation. Easiest way to do that, write worldofredmedia@gmail.com. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll get back at you and we'll let you know. But you know what I'm saying? Project Phoenix, fire. Nothing but fire, son. I'm trying to tell you, Project Phoenix, we want you right here, someplace, you know what I'm saying? So that we can talk about you. Because really, at the end of the day, it really is all about you. Project Phoenix is your boy Red, World of Red Media LLC, redmediaradio.com. You already know. Love you guys. All right, here we are back with It's All About Mindset. We're talking about inner demons. We're talking about ego. We're talking about the things that are holding us back. Let's take a quick mental check right here. What is your inner demon? Please don't put it in the comments because it's your inner demon. What is your inner demon? You know, we all have them. I have them. Okay? We're human beings. There are things that I constantly need to work on. There are things that will they will just come out of no place. You know, it's like that snowball effect. Day's not going through so great. I'm having problems working on something. This computer program is giving me a problem. One computer is just crashing constantly. I got to figure this out, you know, and then somebody comes and says something to me that just rubs me the wrong way. So that little trickling snowball that's rolling down has just become huge. Ego automatically, every time, ego will want to come out and fix the problem for you. Every freaking time. You know, and you have to do this thing that I call, oh, excuse me, that was nasty. Sorry. You have to do this thing that I call the 2 to 5 second pause, where you have to actually, before ego puts on his superhero cape and puts on his mask and checks his weapons belt and everything else, you have to take 2 to 5 seconds to say, am I making the right choice here? Am I making, how will every choice that we make will affect us down the line. Not only will it affect us, it will affect others. Because if you don't have a job lined up, if you're not working on a business and you do something that causes you to lose your job, if you have a family at home, that is not helping them at all. That is not helping them at all. You know, if you're sitting outside and you get into an emotion charged situation, you start fighting, or you start, you know, throwing stuff at the person or whatever, and then the police officers come, you're going to get arrested. Whether they let you out the same day or let you out 3 days later or remand you until you go to court, it doesn't really matter. Those are hours that are lost that are going to affect others around you. You know, if this happens on your lunch break at work, basically you didn't come back from work. You didn't. At the end of the day, yeah, there's a chance that you can explain it away later. But let me just tell you a little secret. What if you have let your inner demon out too much at work and they've excused it? You just given them a reason to get rid of you. You know, because you did a no call, no show, essentially. You know, and some companies are somewhat tolerant of that. You know, I've known companies that you can do it 2 or 3 times before they basically fire you. I don't know why. And there's some companies you do it once, they want nothing to do with you. You know, you have to always think about, is this inner demon serving me. You know, and you've got to begin the process, and I hate to use religious terms, but you have to begin the process of excising that demon. And here's the sad part of it. Nobody can help you with it. You can go to all the therapy sessions you want to. You can go to all the psychological sessions that you want to. You can sit up there and if you go to church, confess to it all you want to. But until you decide that this demon needs to go, nothing happens.
Right.
We all know people that have gone through 12-step programs, and they may not do that drug anymore, but they just exchange it for another one because the inner demon says you're doing a drug.
Right.
I don't care what you think that you're doing, but you're going to do a drug today because I need it.
Right. And, you know, it comes back to your core being. And some people might disagree with what I'm saying, but when you really think about it, the inner demon, your ego, whatever it is, whatever that negative part of you is, that's not a part of your core being.
Right.
And no matter who you are, you don't want it to be. I don't think you really want it to be. I mean, I've watched the crime shows and where they interview mass murderers.
I can't do that.
All types of people, and when they're speaking of themselves, if you really listen, they're not speaking of themselves at a low point. They think that they're, you know, a stand-up person in society. They think that something just happened. So most of us, we don't want to be what our ego tries to make us feel to be. I see it on social media. People that I know personally may put something up, and I'm saying, I've never seen that side of you. And it may be something beautiful, you know, a beautiful quote or something, and I'm saying, well, maybe inside of them that's what it is, but they just don't know how to carry on. Maybe ego is, you know, taken away from that.
Right.
You don't give up your core, your higher self for adoption. It's a part of you. Don't give it away. Keep it and hold on to it, treasure it and nurture it. And, you know, eventually it's been times in my past where, okay, I say, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I go one day and I'm fine. And then the next day I just forget all about it, and there it is. That bad habit comes right back.
Right.
Instead of holding on to the good and saying, no, you won't do it. You're going to go another day and another day. And once you get past the third, fourth day,
it should no longer be an issue.
It's now, okay, that part of your core is implanted. It's there.
Right. You know, again, we're all human beings. I'm not trying to tell people that this is going to be easy. Some people have the inner demon of overeating. It's not easy. You know, nobody easily gets to be to the point where doctors are screaming at them like, if you don't stop this, you're going to die. You know, nobody gets to that point, you know, overnight. You know, it's something that has just been going on for years and years and years. And with something that's been going on for years and years and years, it's not easy to break that. You know, but you've got to find it within yourself. You know, inner demons, you know, whether it be food, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, inner demons, they've grown in an atmosphere of comfort. They've grown in an atmosphere of you not just caring anymore. And what you need to do is you need to change that atmosphere. You know, it's like that plant, you know. If you take a plant that is meant to grow during the hot season of the year versus the cold seasons, if you take that plant and put it someplace in a refrigerator, it's not going to grow. It's going to die. It's going to die. And that's the same thing that you have to do with your demons. You have to put them in an environment where they cannot thrive. You know, because believe it or not, being human beings, that's what we do, because our inner demons to most of us mean a level of comfort.
Right.
You know, whether it's any of those addictions that I spoke of, or it's just ego, it's a level of comfort. It's something inside of you that has grown comfortable in the environment that you have given it.
Right, you're resuscitating it.
Right. But you're saying one day I gotta stop doing this. You know, as they're dragging you away in cuffs, you're saying, oh, I I've got to stop doing this. Today is the last day I do it. How many people get like sick to the point where they're throwing up in the toilet, you know, and they say, I'm never going to drink again. Oh my God. And you're nursing a hangover the next day. And you got to show up for work. And as you're commuting back home, you're like, I'm never going to do this again. Here comes Friday. Here comes Friday, because your mind, even though you know what you're doing is wrong, you know it's hurting you, you know the feeling that you might potentially get from this night of partying, you're going to do it because your inner demon says, remember all the fun we had last night? Remember all the fun that we had last weekend and the weekend before that? That potential fun is still there. All I need you to do is to saddle up to the bar and order a drink. And then we'll get 2 or 3 more. You know, if it's drugs, hey, remember all the fun that we had last time? This is the way that your mind works, you know, and again, it's an environment of comfort. Sometimes we have to remove ourselves from situations. You know, if going to the bar triggers you drinking like a madman, maybe you shouldn't go to the bar anymore. There's other things to do on this planet, believe it or not. You know, if, you know, doing drugs on a Saturday night with your buddies is the way that you like to go, maybe stop hanging out with those buddies. You know, I'm sure you got other friends, and if not, go make some more friends. You know, because at the end of the day, this whole comfort level, this whole, you know, incubation of our demons and you know, are usually caused by situations and people. You know, most people don't go and, you know, start a drug addiction on their own. They usually have people that they're getting high with. Most people don't drink by themselves. You know, and if they do drink by themselves, they want to go outside and be around other people. You have to remove those triggers, as they call it. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, you know, being human works on both sides of the coin. In the 12-step program, they have this thing that they call enablers. You know, people that, I worked ARS, alcohol rehab service, while I was in the Navy. And I found it a strange thing, this enabler concept. Whereas people would actually go through the program, be doing great, you know, they come up to me and be like, yo, Robinson, I'm never drinking again. Trust me, I'm never drinking again. 3 months down the line, they back in the program. And the reason being was because of enablers. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it's enablers. There are people in your life right now that don't want you to get rid of your inner demons. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to find balance. They don't want you to become a better person, because once you start doing those things, you're less easier to control. You have to remember, when you're dealing with your inner demons, especially with substances or alcohol or food or anything else, you have a group of people that gain control over your life. You know, oh, come on, you've been on your diet for so long. It's my birthday. Have one piece of cake. You know, oh my God, come on, Sue. My daughter made these cookies. You mean to tell me you can't have one? These are the enablers. Oh, come on, John, I just got a promotion. What do you mean you're not going to have a drink with me? These are enablers. They know what you're going through. They know that you're trying to excise your inner demons. Why aren't they helping? Because it's beneficial to them that your inner demons come back. Always remember that.
Yep. And it's an inside job for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
You know, as you're talking, I'm thinking this stuff that, you know, I say there, people might be looking like, I never knew, but it's work. It's work. And at the end of the day, you can't, this is the time where you're selfish, where you really do have to be selfish about you. Even if you're being selfish for the fact that the people around you, the people that live in the house with you, will benefit from it.
Right.
So at that time, I feel like it's okay to be selfish and to be self-absorbed, because you're absorbing the right energy. You're absorbing something that you can then later radiate onto everyone that crosses your path.
Yes, that is. I mean, it's funny that you say that, because there are some people that become sponsors in 12-step programs. There are some people that actually go out and start their own 12-step program because they understand that, hey, listen, this is not easy for everyone. let me go ahead and help. Kind of what I'm doing with the Red Workshop. You know, this is like the highest point, and your inner demons have nothing to do with this. Is once you decide that, hey, listen, I want to give back. I want to give something back. I got through this. There's a reason why I wrote my book, Habit Cell Life, Positive Thoughts for an Effed Up World. I was going through a lot. I had a lot of inner demons that I had to fight. And I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, I mean, it was like a big Dungeons and Dragons battle up in the house sometimes to get past these demons, to make myself stop doing the thing that I thought was the easiest thing to do. Stop doing the thing that's going to bring me that false warm fuzzy. You know, stop doing the thing that is, its only intent is to hurt someone else. That, you know, that's what our inner demons do. They, well, screw them, hurt them. You're hurting right now, go ahead and hurt them. You know, and that's why I wrote that book, because I was like, this isn't the way to go. This is not the way to go. Yes, there are certain things that people will tag onto you and say, oh, that's a demon that you're dealing with. Listen, if you smoke, I'm not coming at you. If you feel that you need to stop, that's something that you need to do. Got no problem there. If you do drugs, if you feel that you got it under control, that's between you and your higher power in the universe. You know, I'm not going to tell you that's what you need to do, because, you know, we look at actors and actresses and sometimes even politicians that go whole careers, and then we find out later on down the line, oh my God, you did that every day? You know, you did a good job running the country, but come on, that's what you was doing? You know, so we have to be human about it. At all times, we have to always be human about it. We always have to be compassionate, empathetic. We can't go around telling people that, hey, listen, that's an inner demon because you don't believe in what I believe in. You know, hey, listen, I used to do that. Yeah, I hate when people do that. Oh, you're drinking, huh? Yeah. I've been off the wagon for what? 20 years. You know, hey, listen, buddy, you need to get it together. You know, maybe it's not my time. Maybe I feel within myself that I can handle a drink every once in a while. I don't need you to judge me and bring judgment upon me, because all that does is gets under my skin and triggers my inner demons. Now I have another battle to fight because of your statement. So before we start judging other people, remember, we're human beings too. And what I tell to those people, I was like, wow, 20 years. How many years were you on the wagon? You know, it's kind of cruel, it's kind of mean, but it's like, don't judge me. You know, anything you want to add before we go to break?
No.
All right, so we're going to get back to It's All About Mindset. We're going to close it out with some actual helpful hints and tips of how to get past your inner demons, ego, and you know what? It all falls in the same bucket, maybe even addictions. Okay, but it's up to you. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Hey everybody, it's Latif from What She Said, the show for a woman, about women, created by a woman. You can find us every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on redmediaradio.com, the station that brings you nothing but fire. And when I tell you that What She Said is nothing but fire for us women, it is nothing but fire, it is nothing but laughter, and it is nothing but realness. It's What She Said, the show that men can listen to, women can listen to, even children can listen to, because guess what? We discuss a little bit of everybody, every situation, any situation that a woman may have been through or may have even been be in at this time. Every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on redmediaradio.com. Catch the podcast also on YouTube every Thursday.
All right. We are back to do the damn thing. We are talking today about inner demons, ego, addictions, all of that uncool stuff. And the way that I like to end these It's All About Mindset is to actually give actionable tips and hints. First off, we have to understand one thing. We are human beings. We are sentient beings, and we come with a plethora of different problems and situations, and no two people are alike. So not everything that we say may fit your circumstance, okay? However, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. The things that we talk about are resource tools. If you use them and they work for you, great, love it. If they don't work for you, again, I go back to that whole Pac-Man thing. Just try another way, you'll get through it. With that being said, the first thing is, as far as getting rid of your demons, is you have to want to. Nothing moves until you decide for yourself that this has to stop. It's something that I say to people all the time. When you get tired of it, you'll make it stop. Sadly, that's usually the way that life turns out for most of us, myself included. You have to go through hell before you decide that it's too hot down here. I can't keep on fighting off these demons. You have to find it within yourself. I say get the balance sheet. What are the assets of these inner demons and what are the liabilities? And with inner demons, ego, and addictions, you will find that there are more liabilities every time. No matter how you write up the sheet, you can lie to yourself. You're always going to have more liabilities than actual things that benefit you. Yeah, if you're being bullied and you're in high school and you finally knock the hell out that person, yeah. That's the benefit of, if you can find any benefit for ego. It's like, okay, I got this guy off of my back. Or this girl off of my back. But for the most part, it usually doesn't turn out that way, especially in adulthood. You have to decide within yourself, for yourself, that this needs to stop. And you've got to, before you even start that stage, you have to pinpoint these demons. See, a lot of times we fall under the whole aspect of, that's just the way I am. That's the way I've been all my life. This is the way I've always done things. And you have to get past that. You have to start saying, hey, it's been this way, but am I following the formula for insanity? Doing the same things over and over, expecting a different result? Is that what you're doing? This is a discussion that you need to have with yourself. Would you agree?
Right. Yes, definitely. My final word would be, and this is for, I feel like it fits anybody, no matter if you're a business owner, no matter if you are, you have a career, if you're just looking for a 9 to 5, if you're just looking to make some money. Never leave your vision side. We all have visions of who we want to be and how we see ourselves.
Right.
Forget how anyone else sees you.
Right.
Like, really, you only know yourself. No one knows you better than you. So just don't leave that. Don't leave that by the wayside. Carry that with you. That right there, your ego doesn't like that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Your ego wants to tell you, no, you're like this, but you're saying, but I don't see myself like that.
Right.
I don't see myself arguing with people. I don't see myself answering to every name that I'm called in the book.
Right.
I see myself holding my head high. I see myself, well balanced. I see myself successful, or I see myself working 2 jobs. Whatever it is, it's your vision. So just hold on to it. And your vision is stronger than your ego.
Yes.
When you keep it close to you, it's stronger than your ego.
Yes.
You're not worried about anyone else. You just see, this is the vision I have, and I'm going to make it happen.
Yes. I couldn't have said it better. I told you earlier about that 2 to 5 second pause. That is the reset timer in your mind. 2 to 5 seconds. That's all it really takes. Any decision that goes past the next 3 moments, okay, you should take a 2 to 5 second pause before you make that choice. We make choices all day, every day, all day long. Crossing the street, you should have that down pat by now. That doesn't mean that you need to stand by the light and 5 seconds before I cross the street. That might be the difference between the light changing color or you making it across the street. But for anything else that has the potential to have a long-term effect, you need to actually stop and pause. Again, that argument, that emotionally charged situation, that whole thing about doing the right thing. Again, we have this internal compass, and I love it because when you make it, or you're about to make a right choice, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling. When you're potentially making a wrong choice, what actually happens is you get that opposite feeling. You get anxious, you have anxiety, you start to worry. So if you see that you are making a choice that is not giving you a warm fuzzy, more than likely that would be a bad choice. So use that as your guide when making decisions, when trying to figure out what choice you should make.
Right.
I know.
I'm sitting here thinking, people might be saying, well, what about? Well, when your brain says what about, and you're having those second and third thoughts, those doubts, then more than likely what your gut told you, and if it's including your vision, then that's the choice.
Yes.
That's the choice, even if it's uncomfortable. Lately, I found myself in those situations where it's just uncomfortable choices, but because my vision is so near and dear to me, I'm like, no, do it.
Right.
Do it.
Right,
this is here for a reason. You have to make this choice. The other choice is a lot easier, but it's that helping with your vision. Right.
And when you speak about vision, I have to come back to the enablers in our lives. When you're trying to fix the trajectory, fix the course, get back online, we will find sometimes that people, and I've experienced this, and I'm quite sure you've experienced it, where people want to enable and foster the growth of those negative aspects of your life. You need to remove those people. Okay, you need to remove those people. Again, that internal compass will tell you. It will say, hey, listen, I don't think that person has your best interest in mind. Again, I go back to the people that's trying to fight drug addiction, or trying to fight alcoholism, or trying to fight sexual addiction. They will find themselves drawn back in. We all watch these TV shows where a person who is a career criminal, this is what they've done all their life, they crime, then one time they get locked up and they say, you know what, I'm tired of being behind bars. And they try to straighten up their life, and what happens? All of the people from their past is like, oh, you done changed, that's not you, come on, let's do this one more time. What could possibly happen? These are enablers. These are enablers. These are people that actually see you trying to change your life for the better. And they say all they're seeing is, my control is lost. I can't control this person anymore. I can't make this person do what I want them to do. Again, working alcohol rehab service in the military taught me that. That there are always going to be people that do not have, as my grandmother would always tell me, that do not have my best interest in mind, or your best interest in mind. You need to identify those people as quickly as possible and exit stage left. Again, that moral compass will tell you, as soon as they open their mouth, especially as you progress in fighting or subduing your inner demons and your ego, you will find that you will just become aware of it, like, really, I thought you was my friend, or I thought you was my husband, or I thought you was my wife, or I thought you was my family member. You have to be careful of these people, because their return on investment is that you stay exactly where they see you as being comfortable for them.
Their vision.
Yes.
But it's not your vision.
Right.
It's their vision of you, not your vision.
Right.
Yep. That's my final. I feel like that's what I want to leave with. Just remember your vision of you. Right. And remove as much negative as you can.
That's a great start.
We're not the only ones in this world. People are going to do things and say things that make you want to speak up for yourself. But if you have a vision, it's like I was saying in the other live, is if it's not fitting, then you don't have to answer it. It's like I'm sure a lot of people's parents, you don't have to answer to every name that you're called.
That was one of the things, and this would probably be my final tip, but this is one of the things that I came up with as I was progressing to finding balance. I came to understand the fact that if I turn the key to my door and walk inside and you're not there, what you're doing right now really doesn't matter. We have to worry about those, those are the stresses that we deal with in life. The people that live on the other side of that door with us. Okay? But people that don't live on the other side of the door with us, people that, we're just passing in the street, or we just work 9 to 5 with, these people really don't, because you get a break from them. You get a break from it. There's no reason, I've come to the point, running a business now where I understand the stress that I bring upon myself for a good reason. The stress that I used to experience at work, that I would go home, and there was one time where I had to get a bottle of something to drink on the way home just so I can go to sleep that night.
Right.
I came to realize that those people really don't matter.
Right.
They really don't matter because, again, I have choices. I can always find another job. I don't have to put up with it. I can always find something that is more comfortable, and I don't have to respond to everything that is said to me. You don't.
Right.
You
like
really don't.
That's what the question I'm saying. That one question you ask yourself. To me, it works for everything. What difference does it make?
Right.
What difference does it make? If the difference is for the greater good of my vision, then great. I'm going to make the difference.
Right.
If it doesn't make a difference, then it flies away.
Yeah, fly away. Boom, kick rocks, bye. Sometimes you have to, take on the understanding of you have to do it for you. And then everything else trickles down.
Yep.
Do it for you. If you have a family and kids, do it for you first, and then allow the results to trickle down. Don't become stressed out that you're not moving fast enough for them. Move at your speed. The reward will still be there. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We'll be doing these every week. Please tune in to redmediaradio.com every Thursday at 5 p.m. If this has resonated with you at any level, okay, I'm going to have 2 asks of you. First ask, easy peasy, pick up a copy of my book. I will actually put it in the links. Have a Cell Life Positive Thoughts for an effed up world. So much more of this, and it comes from a real life standpoint of going through this. Not a psychologist looking at case studies. This is me actually going through this and finding balance. This will help with the Red Workshop. If you again find something that resonates with you, please consider making a small donation, a penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter, whatever. If you're super filthy rich, 100,000, I'm not going to say no. But consider making a donation. It just helps us find time to make these videos. And it also goes towards the Red Workshop, which is a foundation I'm trying to build in where I live, Camden, New Jersey, to make an after-school program for our disenfranchised youth. I definitely appreciate your time either way. It makes the world a better place if we take some of these tools and concepts and incorporate them into our lives to make ourselves better people, thereby making those around us better people. And I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. I'm Red.
And I'm Latif.
And you've been listening to It's All About Mindset on redmediaradio.com as well as YouTube. All right, you already know. Love you guys.